Hi guys, today we're gonna do basic vellum muscle in Houdini 19.5. Or maybe you can turn this dragon to this drunk dragon.
Se acabou. Free drinks in the house.
Hi again, this is Dyson. Okay, today we're not going to do fancy complex things as usual. We're gonna take this model and add secondary movement to it, like this nice jiggly thing, as you can see. So we're gonna use vellum. As you can see, we have this model. I download this as Alembic and I cycle that via rate-time node. Okay, I have this movement. Nice, it is in a place movement. Let's create vellum tetrahedral soft body. Wow, that's a hard word to say. Okay, now as you can see, we have this. The wing is gone. We're gonna fix that. Let's go here and uncheck this. Check this. And let's create vellum solver. Nice. Let's enable ground plane and let's play. Okay, we have dead dragon. We're gonna fix that. Now let's bring the animation back. Okay, we're gonna do this with vellum constraint attached to geometry. Let's create vellum constraint here and change that to attach to geometry. Okay, now let's connect this transfer node to third input. Now let's turn this collision off here and let's play and see what we have. Okay, we have the animation. Okay, now we're gonna customize this attached to geometry constraint. We're gonna paint in some area to have more control. Okay, first let's disconnect this collision connection and let's play. Okay, everything is work. Let's go to attach to geometry and in the stiffness, let's change that by value. I want to show you something. Put that to 0 and that will happen. Everything will fall off. To 1, everything will work. Okay, we're gonna use that principle to paint on attribute. Nice. Let's change that to attribute. Let's copy this attribute here and let's create attribute paint. Okay, let's paste that here. Nice. We're gonna paint FG float. That will be 1. Okay, remember that when is 1, everything will hold the geometry. And that's the proof. Okay, with that, as you can see, with that, let's go and paint everything as 1 to hold all the geometry, to attach the geometry. Okay, let's paint here. Okay, now let's hold the control key and paint here the head and let's play. As you can see, the head value is 0, that will fail, but rest of the body it's 1. Okay, now let's paint that as 1 and let's paint this wing with holding control here. Okay, and now let's play and see what we have. Okay, that's worked, but we have artifact. We're gonna fix that. As you can see, we have this artifact. That's because our geometry is not perfect in topology and the resolution in tetrahedral. As you can see, the guide geometry is not include this wing. Okay, we're gonna fix that with VDB. Let's create VDB from polygon. Okay, let's create null here and connect this first. Okay, and let's connect this here and let's adjust the resolution. Okay, The wind is gone. We're gonna fix that with VDB reshape. Nice. Now let's create VDB convert to polygon. Nice. Okay, we have this model and we're gonna fix that later on. Okay, let's adjust the resolution, and be careful with the resolution, it can impact your performance. I always use this adaptive for the test, and for the final result I will turn this off, especially in vellum tetrahedral. So now, as you can see, every frame this topology is changing. That will cause a problem. We're gonna fix that in the next section. As you can see, the guide geometry is fixed. Okay, now with that, let's play and see what we have here. Of course, we're gonna have this mess. That's because topology is changing every frame here. Let me show you. Okay, we're gonna fix that with time shift node here. Time shift, and let's delete this channel to freeze the frame at frame 1. Okay, now let's create point deform. Point deform here, and let's connect this to transfer node. Okay, and this to the frozen geometry. Okay, and of course we need the rest geometry. Let's copy this time shift node here, and let's connect that to transfer node and to point deform, and let's play. As you can see, everything works fine. So we went from here, the changing topology, to this point deform. Nice. Okay, now let's see the result with vellum solver, and everything worked as we expected. Having said that, because the geometry, the topology of the geometry is changed, we need to repaint every paint attribute. Okay, as you can see, I repaint this paint attribute. And before we move on, if you like this video, please subscribe for more content and help us to grow. And if you want to support us and community we build in, please check my NFT page here, and I have awesome reward for our supporter. So with that, let's go. Okay, let's customize tetrahedral stiffness. Let's go here and let's change that by value. Okay, and this value will multiply this section here. Okay, let me play the simulation and show you. Okay, that's a regular stiffness we have, and now let's put that to 0 and let's play. Obviously stiffness will be 0. Okay, that's 0. Let's have 50% here. 50% of the current stiffness will be that. Okay, now we're gonna use this principle to paint the attribute. Now let's change that to 1 and put that to attribute. Let's maybe type text here, and let's create paint attribute here as we did with attach to geometry. Paint attribute, and let's copy that here. Test. Okay, we're gonna paint everything as 1. All these geometry will have the current stiffness. Okay, that will be 1. And now, okay, we have this test, and let's play and see what we have. Okay, as we expected, we have regular stiffness. Nice. Okay, let's demonstrate that with this section of the dragon. Okay, let me adjust the brush here. And okay, I want to paint this with 1 or 100%, and this one with 50%, or this one with 25%, and the last one with 10%. I called it percent because it is easy to read. And let's play and see the different reaction. Okay, obviously that's more stiffness, and that's the difference between them. So let's bring that to 1 again, and let's change that to 50%, and let's paint on the wing. Okay, we have this attached to body, and now let's play and see what we have. Okay, as you can see, the wing is less stiffness than the back of the dragon. Okay, we have this artifact. We're gonna fix that with attach to geometry. Let's paint that as a 1 to hold it and not to be part of the simulation that much. And this artifact is gone, as you can see. And that's how you can customize your tetrahedral constraint. Now for more realistic simulation, we're gonna animate this dragon along the z-axis. We're gonna use decent animation. This is not perfect, but decent. Let's create transform node here. Okay, now let's use this equation. $t represent time, and we're gonna use 50% of that. Let's play. Okay, we have this animation, and now let's copy this transform node and apply that to the collision, as well. Okay, and now let's play and see what we have here. Okay, that's all fine. And now let's copy this transform node and connect this to output of the simulation, and I will negative this equation to have in place animation. Nice. Okay, for the final part, we're gonna transform this animation to this original geometry. As you can see, we have this dragon here. Nice. And we're gonna transform the new deformation or the simulation to this geometry. So for that, we're gonna use point deform here. Nice, that's the key node, and let's connect the third input to the output of the vellum. And let me organize that. Let's bring the transform node here. Remember that point deformer, the first input need to have frozen geometry, and in our case we need to have time shift here to froze this geometry. Okay, we have frozen geometry, and let's connect that to the first input of the point deform, and we need another time shift here to the rest to the rest geometry, and let's connect that to the transform, and voila, everything worked fine. Okay, as you can see, the wings have more deformation. To see that, obviously we need to have more subdivision or remake that and have more resolution, and you can see different result. So that's the result I come up with, and as I mentioned before, this will be painting and testing, painting the attribute and testing over and over. As you can see, I had a copy and paint this attribute here with more smoother and more accuracy, and let's play and see what we have. So, and that's magnificent. I love it, honestly. So guys, I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.